Good morning, everyone. Today I am sharing a morning routine with you, giving you a glimpse into what our mornings have been looking like lately, especially on these summer mornings. So typically the kids wake up between 6 and 7. The girls sleep in a little bit later than Owen, but it really depends. He has been sleeping a lot lately. I definitely think he's growing right now. He's been napping still, heavy naps, like 2 to 3 hours during the afternoons, a couple times a week. But he's usually in our bed in the mornings. So I used to work out in the mornings, and then half the time I'd do my devotional before the kids were up. But now since he's in our bed, Andrew works out in the mornings and I work out in the afternoons, and it's just worked out better that way. I also have been leaving my phone in the kitchen to charge at night, and I have been loving not having it in our bedroom at nighttime. Once we go downstairs, we will make coffee. Andrew is back from the gym, and we just kind of take it really slow at this time. So I usually print out the kids a coloring page. They are so into coloring right now. I just type into Google, or Owen loves Ninjago, so I do Ninjago coloring pages for him. The girls like Hello Kitty, Lisa Frank, Kawaii, ice cream cones. Like, they'll just tell me what they want. I just literally type that in and then coloring page after that, and they'll pick one out. Since it's been getting so hot lately, I'm trying to get them out early outside before it gets too hot, because like this whole week it's been around like 90 to 100. And I feel like that's really early for it to get so hot. So we're trying to be outside early so we can get our wiggles out. And then on the TV, I'm putting on a show for June here. We watch, what are they into right now? Miraculous, Ninjago. I love the PBS shows. Arthur, they like Bluey a ton. And then I'm trying to eat a little bit before I drink my coffee, or just like at the same time. So I like having these perfect bars on hand because they fill me up. They give me a little bit of protein. Other days I'll have some Greek yogurt with blueberries and gluten-free granola on top of that. Because first thing in the morning, I'm not really wanting to make eggs and cook. But later in the afternoon, but later in the morning, I'll make eggs for us usually. Another thing we do often is some sourdough toast. And the toast, or the bread that I get, is really like great sourdough. It just has, I think, 4 ingredients. So I can have a slice of that and be totally fine. We're definitely wanting to learn how to make sourdough bread. That's our next thing we want to do. Most of you said to use the recipe from Farmhouse on Boone. So I think I might go with her sourdough recipe. Thing that I do first thing in the morning is to let the chickens out. They love to come outside right in the morning when there's like morning dew. Everything's a little bit wet on all the plants, so they can kind of get some grubs. And we keep Kyla inside during this time. We're waiting until the chickens are like full grown until we really let her kind of be around them. But for now, we keep them separate. And it's just so funny. We just love watching the chickens. They make like this big loop around our yard. Every morning they kind of have like their routine, and Kyla just sits and watches them come around. Something else I've been adding to my mornings are these magic mind drinks. You can find these at Sprouts. You can take them instead of coffee or alongside your coffee. I now am trying to cut down the amount of cups of coffee I have in a day. So I'll drink 1 cup in the morning, and then a little bit later I'll have one of these shots. And what they really help with is giving you sustainable energy without the side effects. There's matcha in here, so it helps reduce the amount of anxiety or jitters you feel after drinking coffee sometimes, too much coffee. And also you just feel like you're in a more focused state faster. There's lion's mane in here, which helps with that, along with ashwagandha that just decreases your stress. And I just feel really great after drinking these. Like I feel like I'm in a calm state, but yet I feel like I have energy to be productive. They also offered you guys a discount code. It is Kendra20, and you can receive 20% off your order. Now I'm coming upstairs to get ready for the day. To wash my face in the morning, I just rinse with some water. I heard somewhere that if you're cleansing in the morning, you're stripping your skin of its natural oils. So now I just do water, and it's really helped my skin a ton. My skin has been probably the best it's been ever right now, and I think a lot of it is I've simplified my skincare routine. I used to use so many different brands, so many different products, and I know when you look up at my little wooden medicine cabinet, it does look like there's a ton up there, but most are the same brand. I stick with a lot of Primally Pure products, and at night I just use like one of their balms, and that's it. In the morning I will rinse with water. I will mist with a little plumping mist or clarifying mist to add a little moisture to my skin. Then I'll top it with moisturizer and then my SPF for the day. I use the Ilia skin tint, which gives you some tint, SPF, and moisture all in one. I just absolutely love it. And then for deodorant, I'm using the Primally Pure deodorant. I like the lavender one the most. I tried their charcoal one. I didn't love it as much. So the lavender for me is my fave. Now on to makeup. I'm just gonna do a simple kind of cream look today. So I'm adding some eyeshadow onto my eyebrows. Those are very light, so I have to fill them in. This color I think is MAC Charcoal Brown, I believe. I have been using MAC eyeshadows for my eyebrows for so many years. And then under my eyes, I put a little bit of the RMS Pot Concealer. It's just really lightweight, you don't feel it. It's like, kind of has a luminous finish and just gives me enough coverage. I don't need a ton of under eye concealer, just a little bit on my inner eyes to kind of help with some darkness. And then I top it off with the Alima Pure powder just to set that in place so it doesn't slide, just kind of locks it in for the day. And then I love using the RMS highlight. I'll top a little bit of that on the kind of like high points of my face, so my cheekbones, and I love to just press that in with my fingers. It warms up the product and just really like works it into your skin, and it adds such a nice dewy finish. Whenever I use this, I get compliments on whatever highlight I'm using. I don't really use a powder highlight anymore. I just use this cream. And then their bronzer is also great too. I just press a little bit of that all around my face to warm up my skin. It's just, again, like the texture of this is so buttery and it just is so natural on your face. It doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. I also make sure to bring that down to my neck so that it blends seamlessly with my face. And I wanted more of a bronzy look today, so I popped that on my forehead too, and it just really makes you look nice and tan. I also use this on my eyelids just as kind of like an eyeshadow, and my eyelids get a little veiny, so I have to put something on there. So either concealer or bronzer just to kind of, make it look finished. And then these cream blushes are great. I'll link all these down below, but I love adding a little bit of that to bring some color into my skin. And I blend it out with a brush so it just really is worked in so you don't see any lines or anything. Like a flat top kabuki is my favorite to really make it look very just natural. And then mascara. This one is from CoverGirl. It's one of their like new natural mascaras, and I really love it. The brush reminds me a lot of the Too Faced one. Their pink mascara has that hourglass shape, and I add a coat to my lashes, let that dry like almost completely. Then I go in with another coat to add some more volume and length, and it's just really beautiful. While I'm up here a few days a week, I will water these plants up on our deck. I have some rosemary growing in this little planter, which I found at Big Lots actually. It says welcome on the other side, so I just turned it around. But this rosemary I definitely think needs a bigger pot now. And I have some succulents up here as well. But the thing I've been really noticing for all of our potted plants is how they really outgrow their pots, and you have to graduate them to a bigger pot eventually because their roots get bound up at the bottom. And I just want to show a clip of the girls in here. We started this new program called Night Zookeeper. They are obsessed with it. They beg to play it all the time, and it's language arts based. I'll have to share more about it soon because it's really great. And I also had to show you guys the chickens. They just follow you back into the coop, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so once I am ready for the day, I do a quick pickup of the kitchen and just like our downstairs. I will put the clean dishes away that are in the dishwasher, put all of our dishes that we used for breakfast, our coffee cups, and just get the kitchen sorted for the day, and you can start off right that way.
Summer evening, where we can watch the sky, chase the morning, us under the stars. You fall into my arms, there's no one else I'd rather be here with. And in the end, I'll be here when
And then I'm coming out to our side garden and checking on all the plants. I give it a little extra water. Most of it's on a drip line, but I have to give a little more water to the tomatoes especially, and just to get everything a little bit more established out here. We've been noticing a little bit of gnats on the squash and cucumbers, so I'm thinking I'm gonna get some ladybugs to help with that. If you have any other ideas, let me know. But everything is growing so well. I'm so impressed. We have parsley, thyme, basil. The basil doesn't look as great as I thought it would by now. I don't know, it's like not as vivid green, but the squash and cucumbers are doing great. We have blueberries and Roma tomatoes and beefsteak tomatoes. And then you can't see, they're behind the camera here, but we also planted a cara orange tree and a grapefruit tree, which just look so awesome. Andrew and I are both just like so impressed with how gardens grow. I don't know. It's like our first year having this, and last year we just did one tomato plant and it grew crazy. And so this year was our year to really start on the garden, just keeping it small and simple and seeing how things went. June saw today, we noticed there's 2 tomato plants that are growing in our dirt over by our playhouse that must have, like seeds must have gotten there last year after we planted our tomato plants. And it's actually quite big and already has some yellow flowers. So I'm gonna just leave it and see how it does. But I think it's just so crazy. So that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of our mornings, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.